Well, sometimes in life you wind up in the right place at the right time, meeting the right person. Other times you need a connection to make an introduction happen. In this case, North Carolina A&T student Jessica Norcott's mother was the connection between her and Professor Kristen Dellinger.
I met her by fate.
Norcott says Dellinger was her mom's customer at the DMV in 2019. Her mother spotted Dellinger's NC A&T lanyard.
She gets to talking, telling her she's a professor over at the joint school. And then my mom's like, what's that? Then my mom's like, oh, my daughter is into the science field. She might be interested in that school. She's actually about to graduate 2020. And then Dellinger offers that I should come and take a tour of the school. And from there's history.
Yes, it's the white top. Okay. My stuff's in the back. His is right there.
For PhD student Ivy Cochlery, she came across Dellinger's work at the North Carolina A&T Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering.
I'm so grateful to have found Dr. Dellinger's lab.
The lab is one of a kind.
This Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering is really unprecedented a place in the U.S. and even across the world, that there's such a focus on working at the nanoscales.
Dellinger says the current work focuses on using nanoscience to help patients rapidly diagnose diseases.
Well, one thing we're working on is developing early screening devices for Alzheimer's disease. This means that people can screen themselves if they have the potential for developing Alzheimer's disease before the onset of clinical symptoms.
Dellinger's lab work attracted the Department of Defense. They joined forces, becoming the first and only joint collaborative lab to use nanotechnology to help U.S. soldiers.
So we're working on using something called a DNA zyme, which is going to be incorporated into a microfluidic chip. So the ultimate application of that work will be able to allow soldiers to detect whether their water is clean and safe to drink.
Dellinger has a personal tie to this project too.
My husband's best friend and brother, who served in the U.S. military from 1998 to 2013. He's a highly decorated combat veteran and is very, very close to our family. So the ability to work on these projects with the Soldier Center is just very meaningful to me.
In the future, her work could eventually help you and me.
We're hoping that that can also be useful for communities impacted by hurricanes or by natural disasters, so that these sensors can also be deployed in those emergency scenarios.
And maybe Jessica's research findings could help us also.
We've been going through this journey together, and she's really given me lots of inspiration to continue to get my PhD.
So this nanotechnology is obviously, they describe some things they can use it for: detecting Alzheimer's early, to clean drinking water, whether it's a hurricane after and people need to get clean water fast, or there's soldiers out base somewhere, they need to figure out, is this water safe to drink? Or even the last woman that was on, she was using it to use for COVID, finding another alternative to diagnosing COVID.
It's incredible. It's wild. And keeping in mind the situation that's happening at Camp Lejeune right now, and the lawsuits because of the toxic drinking water there. I mean, this is so timely.
Yeah, for sure.
It also highlights just all the great work that's happening at North Carolina A&T.
Yeah.
There's so many great projects, so many great resources there.
Yeah, and this is the first partnership with the U.S. Army. So working with U.S. soldiers in an HBCU has never been done before, right here in Greensboro.
That's great.